2023 has been a challenging year for the built environment sector. Rising interest rates have had a significant impact on the market, leading to high costs of capital, soaring construction costs, and in turn impacting valuations. However, after a series of very rapid rate hikes, we do hope that the peak has been reached. And as we look forward to 2024, we expect to see economic stabilisation and an uptake in transactional activity in the market. One measure high in the minds of a number of our clients at the moment is the residential zone land tax, which is due to take effect on the 1st of February 2024. A large number of developers and landowners recently lodged appeals to the board following the dismissal by local authorities of objections from those landowners and developers to the inclusion of their land on the residential zone land tax map. The board has now dismissed the majority of those appeals, and landowners and developers are therefore wondering, what are their options? A landowner can judicially review a refusal of the board, and if it intends to do so, it should do so promptly and ensure an application is made within 8 weeks of the board's decision. In considering bringing a challenge, the board's findings, the supporting inspector's report, as well as the original submissions, will need to be carefully scrutinised in order to determine potential grounds for legal challenge and likelihood of success. If the decision to include land on the draft residential zone land tax map is subject to judicial review proceedings, and those proceedings have not been determined at least 30 days in advance of the 31st of October 2023, then the land must be included in the final map. If the land is included in the final map, then the landowner must register with Revenue and file a return. A landowner can apply to Revenue to defer the liability where judicial review proceedings have not been determined prior to the date for payment. If a judicial review is successful, the land must be removed from the final map. If unsuccessful, a landowner must amend the return where the claim was made and pay any tax and interest accordingly. If a landowner is able to commence liable residential development and lodge a commencement notice, it can also apply to Revenue to defer the liability. Developers should be mindful that land not included in the first map may be included in subsequent supplemental maps. Landowners should ensure subsequent supplemental maps are checked because they won't be notified of any changes, but will be subject to strict deadlines if they want to lodge an objection. In a very welcome development, the temporary waiver of development contributions introduced by the Department of Housing in order to curb those soaring construction costs and speed up the delivery of much needed new homes is starting to take effect. What it means is that developers will not be liable to pay development contributions in respect of relevant residential developments commenced between the 25th of April 2023 and the 24th of April 2024. The waiver can also apply where the developer has lodged a commencement notice on or after the 28th of March 2023, or where the developer has submitted a 7-day notice on or after the 4th of April 2023. However, for this 1-year period of the waiver to apply, the relevant residential development must be completed by the 31st of December 2025. All relevant residential developments can avail of the waiver, including multi-unit developments, social housing and student housing. Extensions to or refurbishment of existing residential properties will not benefit from the waiver, even where those properties are vacant or derelict. Finally, the date on which planning permission was obtained for the residential development is irrelevant. So for developments where planning permission was obtained prior to the 25th of April 2023, the waiver can still apply, provided the other criteria are met.